We hear it all the time, right? DNA is the blueprint of life. It's the master plan that builds everything. But have you ever really stopped to think about where in that famous double helix the instructions are actually written? Let's dig in.
Yeah, it's a question that might seem simple, but it's actually kind of tricky. I mean, this molecule is incredible. It holds all the secrets to, well, us. So where's the information hiding? Is it woven into the very structure of the helix itself?
A common guess is that the instructions have to be in the strongest part of the molecule, this spiraling sugar phosphate backbone. It makes sense. It provides all the structure and support. It really seems like the logical place to keep the master code, doesn't it?
Nope, that's not it. The backbone is just scaffolding. The real secret, the actual language of life, is hidden somewhere else entirely.
So if the answer isn't in the frame, it must be in the picture itself. And that's exactly right. All of the genetic instructions are encoded in a simple but unbelievably powerful four-letter alphabet.
It all comes down to the order of these rungs on the DNA ladder. These are the parts that actually carry the information. The backbone is just there to hold them in place. The sequence is where all the meaning is. And here they are, the four chemical letters of life: adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. We just call them A, T, C, and G. And get this, every single instruction for building and operating all life on Earth is written using just these four bases. I mean, think about that. The elegance of that is just amazing.
A great way to think about this is to picture the entire DNA molecule as a massive scroll, a long biological message. The meaning of that message depends entirely on the order, the sequence, in which those A, T, C, and G letters appear.
This shows the point perfectly. Take a look at the original message. Now, look at the changed one. Just one letter is different. A C was swapped for a T. It seems like such a tiny change, but in the language of genetics, that one little swap can create a completely different instruction. The meaning is totally altered. So, okay, how does a simple sequence of letters translate into something real, something physical, like the color of your eyes? Let's follow the trail and see how the code actually becomes creation.
Well, it happens through a really clear chain of command. A specific DNA sequence contains the instructions to build a specific protein. That protein then goes and performs a job in the body, which results in a physical trait. It's a direct pipeline, from the sequence to the protein to the trait.
Let's make this totally concrete. A particular stretch of DNA, a very specific sequence of those four bases, tells the machinery in your cells exactly how to assemble the protein that's responsible for your eye color. The right sequence makes the right protein, which gives you the right trait. But what happens if there's a mistake in that biological message? A single typo in the code can have massive, massive consequences. It's not just about getting the letters right. It's about what happens when just one is wrong. A single changed base, what scientists call a mutation, can scramble the instructions, causing the cell to build a broken, malfunctioning protein.
So here's the chain of events. It all starts with one small change in the DNA base sequence. That one change alters the genetic instructions. As a result, the protein that gets built has a different, incorrect structure. And finally, that misshapen protein can lead to a change in a physical trait, sometimes with pretty serious health implications.
This shows the two potential paths really clearly. If the code is correct, it builds a functional protein, which results in a normal trait like eye color. But if a single typo happens in a different gene, say the one for hemoglobin, that corrupted information can lead to deformed hemoglobin, which is what you see in those red blood cells.
Just one, that's all it takes. In the vast biological message that is your DNA, a single incorrect letter in the gene for hemoglobin is the sole cause of sickle cell anemia, a serious and painful disease. The power of just one letter it's immense.
So why is understanding this so important? Well, because grasping that the information is in the sequence is fundamental to understanding health, disease, and the very blueprint of life itself.
Okay, so let's just bust these myths one last time. Myth: information is in the sugar phosphate backbone. Fact: no, the information is in the sequence of A, T, C, and G bases. Myth: only large changes to DNA matter. Fact: absolutely not. Changing a single base can dramatically, and I mean dramatically, alter a protein.
So here's the key takeaway from all of this. DNA stores information in the sequence of its bases. That sequence directs the creation of proteins, and those proteins are what define our physical traits. It's really that simple and that profound.
It really makes you think, though. If one tiny letter out of billions can determine health or disease, what other secrets, what other complexities and stories are written in that vast, elegant code that makes each and every one of us who we are?